Thank you for joining us, everybody that is here today live, and to those that are watching the recording of this session. So this is how to get started teaching English online in 2022. In this presentation, we will be covering what teaching English online is exactly, what you need to teach English online, that's hardware, software, certifications, the works, how much you can earn as an online English teacher, and then how eTEFL online teacher training can help you. So we will get started pretty soon. So please make sure that you have no distractions, that you've turned off your phones and logged out of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and the 1,000 other social media things that they are now. We'll aim to keep it short, 30 to 45 minutes. I kind of giggled there because it normally runs over, and short may be relative to everybody else. Please stay until the end as well, as we'll have something special for those that do. And we will also have a Q&A session at the end if there is something there that, something we didn't cover during the presentation that you have a question for. This presentation is being recorded, so I'd ask you please to keep your microphones muted and your video off, please. We have a chat function in Zoom where you can just click on the chat if you go to the top of the screen, and you can ask any questions you have in there. I am joined today by Zander. Let me just skip to this page, who is our TEFL mentor and coach, but he is feeling under the weather. So he will, I'll be doing his talking today, but he will be around to answer some questions later on, maybe in the chat and also verbally, depending on how he feels. All right, so this is who we are, all right? I wanted to introduce the team behind eTEFL Online so that you can have an idea exactly who it is you're dealing with, and why you should listen to anything we have to say. All right. So my name is Jody van der Westhuizen. I'm the founder of eTEFL Online. I moved to Spain about 15 years ago, did a TEFL course and started teaching English. That was in 2006, I want to say, many moons ago. And on the last 5 years have been focusing on teaching English online and eTEFL online and helping other teachers. So up in the corner, you may or may not see the video of Zander Buerta. He is our TEFL mentor and coach. He runs the mentorship program. He's also a previous graduate of eTEFL Online and has come back to help us on the back end of the process. We've introduced a mentorship program. So we previously just dealt with training of teachers and providing the certifications. And now we have a career mentorship program where we actually help you use that certification to get a job online. And we'll talk about that in more detail later on. Dr. Daniel Portman on the top left there, he's our TEFL course manager, also not with us today. Daniel has over 20 years of experience training teachers, specifically English teachers as well at university level. He's created hundreds of courses and we've partnered with him to create our TEFL course for you. So you'll know that the education that you're getting is top class. We're also accredited. And this is not one of those fly-by-night TEFL organizations that you find on Groupon or what's the South African version of that? I don't recall. One of those cheap sites where you can get a course for 20 bucks. This is not that, all right? Down in the bottom in the middle is Roxanne Buerta. She is not related to Zander Buerta. They have the same surname, but no relation whatsoever. Roxanne was also a previous student of ours, a graduate of eTEFL Online from many years ago, like 4 years ago. She specialized in IELTS and is now our IELTS head of studies. For those who don't know, IELTS is the International English Language Testing System. It is an English proficiency test that millions of students take every year. And we have a specialist course in that, which Roxanne helped us to develop as well. We'll talk about that later on as well. Also not with us. It's a long list of people not with us, I know. Christina Lopez. She runs a partner school here in Spain where we send you, if you take our courses and do the practicum, you have to teach 10 online classes with real students. And it is Christina's school that provides those students and all the setup and the platform and the courses and all the materials that you need for that. And then, of course, last but not least, on the bottom left there is our online teacher community, very much part of eTEFL Online. And one of our greatest focuses is on support. And we don't just provide a course and send you on your way, kick you out the door, congratulations. We're with you from beginning until end, and we offer lifetime support. We have community groups on Facebook, on on Instagram, on WhatsApp, through email. So we stay in touch with you all the way through. And these are some of our teachers that we're still in contact with every day, like Zander as well, and Roxanne. So support is really, really a big important part of what we do here. So let us continue without any further ado. What is teaching English online? I wanted to present this, do this little presentation here to give you the, everything you need to know from 0 to 100. Okay, so what is teaching online? Teaching English online is you, the teacher or the tutor, whatever you call yourself, delivering online lessons via video and or audio to students around the world. You can teach children or adults, or you can teach both. It doesn't really matter. And the ways that you can do this are through online schools. So you can apply for a job at an online school and get a contract, do an interview, get a contract, and get an hourly salary. You can also teach via freelance platforms. These are websites that connect teachers with students. The students you create as a teacher, you create a profile on these websites. They advertise for the students visit, search for a teacher. The filters show you to that person, depending on what kind of teacher they're looking for. They click on your profile. They book a mock lesson or a demo lesson with you to see if there's a good match. If you guys meet up and decide like, all right, the student thinks that you can help them and that you are the right person for them, you can start working together. In this case, you decide what hours you teach, how much you charge for those hours, and what you teach the student, because that is up between you and the student. You decide that. Now, the freelance platform does take a commission because they will also handle the payments. So the student will pay the platform will pay you. They will also do all the marketing to find the students and all of those things. So there is up to 30% of your income will be charged by these platforms. That goes down as you teach more, and also you can include that, work that into your hourly fee. In advance what that's going to be. And the third option is to teach absolutely privately. You have your own students, you got them yourself, you accept payments directly, and you teach on Zoom or Skype or something like that. The type of English lessons you can do are conversational. Most of the adults like conversational lessons, especially if you're going freelance, if you have your own private students, they just want to speak with somebody and practice their English and also do some listening as well. Or lesson-based. So if you have younger students, then you work with PDF slides or PowerPoint slides like we're doing right now on this presentation, and you go through a lesson with the student and you teach them new language and you practice things with them as well. So it depends on the student what kind of lesson you will be teaching them. This is just a photo of one of our other previous graduates, teacher Helen. You can see from her background, very colorful in that. She focuses on teaching young learners, on teaching children. All right, so if you teach adults, you don't need a background like that. So what will you teach your students? This can vary a lot depending on many factors. You will hear me say depending on in this presentation a lot, because there's a misconception or a very common conception that teaching English online is teaching little Chinese children. And while that was a big part of the industry up until last year when the entire Chinese industry imploded, that is not the only way. We've spoken about how you can with online schools, with freelance platforms, and with getting your own students. But there are a lot of other things that depend on what you will actually be doing as a teacher. So whether you work for an online school, whether you work for yourself is one of those. The needs of the student, especially if you're working privately and you have your private students, you develop your classes depending on the needs of the students. Your skills and your experience also, you can draw on those a lot. So if you're teaching privately, your skills and experience that you're bringing from a previous job defines your niche, which is that last one there. So if you're coming from a background of banking or IT or real estate, you can teach English based specifically on those industries and therefore create a niche which differentiates you from other teachers. But we'll go into niche teaching a little bit more later on. Right now, in fact. So niche specialization will help you earn more. It'll set you apart from your competition, and it helps you build a long-term career. All right. So helping you earn more because you are different from the other competition. You are presenting or providing a service that a student wants. For example, I'm here in the south of Spain, so lots and lots of English expats and real estate. Everybody wants to buy here. So if you teach real estate English to Spanish realtors, that can help them earn more money because they have a lot of English clients. So they don't want to learn general English. They want to learn the language that is specific to their industry, and they're willing to pay more for that. That's how you earn more. You also set yourself apart from the competition, especially on the freelance platforms. There's a lot of competition. I wouldn't say that the market is saturated as many people on Facebook will have you believe, but it is very competitive and you need to set yourself apart. Choosing a niche and specializing in something is how you do that. Also building a long-term career, because you can start specializing, you can become an expert in this area, and that builds a long-term career. All right. You can start developing programs and helping other teachers in the future. You never know where this career will lead. Some ideas, just to give you a ballpark figure, looking at the pictures, travel English could be a niche, business English, legal, conversational, IT, any of these things, literally anything you can think of. I mean, I was thinking earlier today while just going over these slides, what about physics or nuclear physics? Like if you have a background in something like that, you're one in a million teachers, all right? So your specialization could literally be anything. So to continue what you will be teaching, the things that you don't know, the things that you're not bringing from your previous experience or your previous career is the things that we will include in our training. So for example, English grammar, teaching that as well. How to plan a lesson, how to evaluate your students and track their progress, all right? Also things like how to pass interviews. So we're not only focusing on the educational side, but also on the practical side of like, now you've got these skills and you've got this certification. How do you get these jobs? Where do you find them? How do you pass the interviews? What is an interview going to look like? How do you get private students? How do you write this freelance profile? How do you attract the student to click on your profile and then have a meeting with them? And then how do you convert them into a paying client afterwards? These are all things that are covered in our teacher training programs, and we'll talk about in a bit. So we've got the who, the what, the why. Now the how. How will you teach your students? Well, the obvious thing is on a computer, on a laptop or a desktop. There are some companies that work with apps, but I can honestly think of two. It's not a huge thing on the mobile phone. You will need a computer or a laptop. Some of the software you're going to be using, video conferencing software. You'll have to see and you'll have to hear your student, obviously. So you can use things like Zoom that we're on right now. You can use Skype. Skype is still very popular. Google Meet is another one. Some of them are free. Some of them have free options. Some of them have limitations. Some of them you have to pay for. You will have to find what works best for you, depending on what your student needs. Online schools, if you do work for an online school, they usually have their own software. They have their own platforms to use. So you won't be using Zoom or Skype normally. They'll have their own and they will train you in how to use those. So you don't have to worry about that. Some hardware that you will need, a computer with a webcam, an HD webcam preferably. And I think nowadays, if you bought a computer or a webcam, you wouldn't have anything less than a 720 anyway. I don't think they make those anymore. But if you have an older laptop, your camera might not be sufficient. You might want to look into that. You'll need at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. You need an i5 processor. Although with the way processors are going nowadays, an i3 of these newer generations might be worth it as well. There's a website on our website, eTEFLonline.com. There's a tab at the top that says Teaching English Online. If you click on that, it'll give you all the requirements in detail about what you need. Okay, a headset. They have that little picture in the middle there. A headset, preferably with a little microphone that comes out. This is the clearest way to speak to your students, and also it gives you the professional look that you're going for, especially when you're applying for jobs at online schools. When you have that first interview and they turn on the video and they see you, you must be sitting there dressed like a teacher with your little headset on, with a nice clean background, and you already look the part. Okay, one of the tips they always say is when you're applying for a job and doing an interview, you're not looking to become an online teacher. You are an online teacher looking for a job. So if you have that mindset and you have that appearance, it's going to go a long way in helping you secure work. And of course, an internet connection. So the faster the internet connection, the more stable, the better, obviously. Some of the schools require only 4 gigabyte line, megabit line, not gigabit, which is not a lot. Most internet connections are faster than that, but I'd recommend 10 up and 10 down as your standard. The faster you can get, the better, obviously. Fiber would be the best. All right, so that's all of those things covered. With that part of the presentation covered, how much can you earn now that you know what you need to be able to teach? So again, this depends heavily on your qualifications. For example, do you have a teaching degree as well as a TEFL? Do you have a degree? A lot of these online schools will require that you have a degree of some kind, and then you will earn more. If you don't have a degree, you can still get a job, but you might earn less. Your experience, do you have teaching experience? The more experience you have, the more money you can earn. We have, if you don't have experience, one of our packages includes a 30-hour online teaching practicum with the online school in Spain that I mentioned. Also, previous experience in your job. Did you do any corporate training? Did you do any coaching? Were you training new staff or something along those lines? That is experience. That counts as experience. Are you working for an online school or working privately? If you work for an online school, they provide the students, they provide the materials, the hours, everything. So therefore, they pay you less per hour. If you work for yourself and you have to create all of those things, then you can charge more. Your niche, as I said earlier, your niche is very important. What are you specializing in? Is it in demand or is it a common niche? If the more specialized you are, the more you can charge. And of course, your hours. Are you working part-time? Are you working full-time, 1 hour a day or 5 hours a day? The more you work, of course, the more you earn. On our website, on Teaching English Online, that same tab that I mentioned earlier, if you scroll down there, there's a calculator. These are just some screenshots I took of that calculator. You can go play around and move these little sliding bars up and down. I've just taken some screenshots and did some simulations for you just to show you. So in the first box, we have your hourly rate in US dollars. Now, US dollars is the currency that most online schools work with, and also even the freelance platforms, they require you to put your rate in US dollars. So I've converted everything to US dollars here for you as well. So say, for example, you set the slider to $5 an hour. Let's go bare minimum. And you're working 1 hour a day. You're looking at 125 US dollars a month. All right, that doesn't seem like much, and it isn't. I've also put in the cost of the program here. So if you invest in our entry-level 120-hour program, which is the equivalent of around 200 US dollars, it would take you 40 days to pay back that investment, working only 1 hour a day for $5 an hour. All right, but let's move on to something more realistic. Say, for example, we up that to $10, a very reasonable and expected starting salary for a brand new teacher in an online school. Nothing spectacular. That's the first job you get. You're not going to be running to the bank a millionaire with the first job you get. Say you work 2 hours per day and you earn $500 per month at 10 hours, $10 per hour, working 2 a day, and you've invested in our 150-hour program. We're talking only 13.8 days to pay back your investment. So in 2 weeks, you can teach for 2 weeks. You can decide at that point whether teaching English online is for you or for not. And after 2 weeks, you've earned back all the money you've spent. You've had a great time. You've met some interesting people, and you've lost no money at all. If not, everything after that is pure profit. And let's do one more simulation. You've started to specialize. You're on the freelance platforms now, and you're working at $15 an hour. I haven't even put it up to there. What you earn, what your earning potential is different for every person. I'm just working on the bare minimums to give you a very conservative estimate. So $15 per hour, you work 4 hours a day, and you've invested in our top package, the 180-hour, for example. Now you're earning 1,500 US dollars a month. And this is working 4 hours a day. Those are part-time hours for $1,500. Even if you invested in the 180-hour package of ours, it would take you less than a week, 5.8 days to pay back that investment. So I wanted to show you that this is a lucrative business to be in. You can make an income from this, and we have lots of teachers that are working online that have gone through our programs, others that have not. There are thousands out there making a living off teaching English online every day. Okay, that aside, how can we help you? How can eTEFL online teacher training help you? So we provide the 4 major points things. So you need the teacher training courses, you need a certification, you need the TEFL or TESOL. It's basically the same thing, depends on where you are in the world, they call it different things. And we can also provide you with the IELTS exam preparation course so you can have a niche. The resources that you need a resume, you need introduction videos, you need lesson plans, you need tech training on how to use Zoom, and all of these are resources that we provide. Mentorship and coaching. So once you've got all these resources, once you've got the certifications you need, how do you use them to actually create a career? And we have a program that it is included standard with all of our programs to show you how to take that next step and start building a career, how to get jobs, how to get interviews, how to get private students, and how to start earning a living online. And then, of course, our ongoing support, which I harp on a lot about because it really is lifetime support afterwards for as long as you need it. And not only from us, like we have those mentors, those support groups, and in there are other teachers, and we share information, and teachers find jobs and they share it with us, or some other teachers just get too many students. I've seen this recently now, the last couple of months, teachers in our group saying, I can't take on any more students. Can anybody take on this student? And just giving students away basically in our group. So we're there to help each other and support each other the entire way through. So I just wanted to break down these 4 different things just in a little bit of detail to give you some idea. The first part would be the TEFL certification courses. Now, you need a TEFL, especially when you're applying for jobs online. This is a requirement. And also when you're working freelance and you have no teaching experience, you need to know how to teach a student. You need to know, for example, how to teach a new language, how to teach grammar, how to teach speaking, listening, reading, writing, how to create effective lesson plans. How do you introduce a topic to a student and then make them practice it and get them to produce it? These are all things that you will learn in the TEFL course, and how to test and evaluate your students' progress. How do you know if they're making progress and at what rate? When you test them for their English level, how do you know what level they are? These are things that we will show you. The methodology we use for this is all based on Dr. Daniel Portman's background and experience in the course he created, but we give you background resources, we give you examples of those. There's online resources for you to use, reflection activities after you've studied all of this to reflect on what you have learned, formative quizzes along the way to make sure that you are keeping up and that you have assimilated that information from every unit. And then at the end, we have a summative assessment where you do a final exam of around 80 questions. And then you also have to provide 3 assignments that you have to do and give to your tutor, who will correct them and give you feedback on those before we can issue you a certification. So that certification is accredited. So you can also use the certification to teach English online, or you can use it later on to teach English abroad if you desire. So all our courses are accredited by the UK's online TEFL and TESOL Standards Agency, and also by the Continuing Professional Development Group. The CPD group does the practical side of our certifications, and OTSA, or the Online TEFL and TESOL Standards Agency, does the TEFL side. So this means that our content and our processes are strictly monitored and regulated. That's why we have to do the assessments at the end with you. All of those assignments that you give are checked every month by an assessor from OTSA to ensure that we're not just handing out certificates willy-nilly. And they're all regulated to ensure that we maintain the top industry standards and that you get an internationally recognized and globally accepted certification. Those are our certifications on the left there. You can go and Google them, find them on the website as well. I just wanted to give you a little preview of what the online course platform looks like. So you want to do the course. Here's the TEFL course. You sign up, you log in. This is what you see. It's a page like this. There's some video resources. On the left, you have a table of contents. Unit module 1, at least, is how to be a good teacher. You download the PDFs and you study them. You can do it. You can do this part on your phone if you had to. If you're on the train and you're reading or public transport and you want to read through the PDFs, you can do that on your phone. I'm more of the kind of person that would print these PDFs out and then write on them when I study. If that's you, you can do that as well. Download them and print them out. If not, you can use all of it online. Then you watch a video and you do a little quiz at the end. These are these quizzes that I was speaking about earlier. The second module there, you can see they're basically all the same. You download and download all the PDFs, and then you go through the videos, do the little quizzes, and so on. All right, the online teaching practicum. So this is a 30-hour program, and probably the most popular part of the entire process, of the training process. The feedback we get on this is great. So in this part of the program, you observe online teachers through recordings. You watch them in classrooms, you watch them online, and then you reflect on that and see how you would have done it, what they did, and how that relates back to what you've studied in your TEFL course. You then meet with your practicum coach over Zoom for like a 30-minute or 1-hour call, depending on how much time you need, to help you prepare for your 10 30-minute classes that you will do with real students through our partner school. So the coach, at this point, you will know that you already have your first student lined up, your first class. So you'll know who the student is, what their level is, and the materials that you're going to be using that will be provided by the partner school, so that you can go over that with your coach before you begin. Then you go through the 10 classes. One of those classes will be viewed by your coach and provide you feedback. And at the end of the process, after your 10th class, the partner school will issue you with a letter of recommendation for you to use in your online applications, and we will issue you with an accredited certificate as well. This is a very nerve-wracking but also exciting part, especially for new teachers. If you have no experience, then I highly recommend doing the 30-hour online teaching practicum, because the experience you get and also the confidence that you get, knowing when you're going into your career and you got your first real paid student, you have this behind you, you know what you are doing. It's not just theoretical. Just a quick glimpse into one of these practice classes. Like I said, a lot of the stuff is PDFs or PowerPoints, and you go through some slides. There at the top, you can see the teacher and the student. The student asked us to blur his face, obviously, because he doesn't want to be on our marketing materials, but It's basically just you and the student. It's always just one-on-one. And you go through the slides and mostly talking. The slides are there for you to role play and to get them and to elicit information, get them to speak. All right. After all of that training is done, so now we've talked about the 120-hour TEFL, and we've talked about the 30-hour online teaching practicum. You've got your certification. Now what? Where do you go from here? Now, normally Zander would take over here, but I will do it for him if he wants. The mentorship program is really where Zander takes over. Okay, so in this part, we talk about how do you prepare your resume? How do you prepare your cover letters, your introduction videos, your freelance profiles? How do you apply for jobs? How do you get interviews? How do you get your own private students? And how do you make sure that they keep booking classes with you? So we not only teach you the practical things, we also teach you strategies on how to, develop your career further, and also provide all the resources that you need to create these things. How do you create that profile? We provide templates for the resume and all of those things. So the mentorship program is really a live program. So it's very different to the online course, which is self-paced, where you log in and study at your own pace. This is a live coaching program over Zoom. It takes about 10 hours over a 3-week period. We'll have the first week is normally just one session where we meet with you just to have an introduction and manage expectations and find out why you are becoming an English teacher and what you are expecting from this as well. And then the next 2 weeks, we will have 2 sessions where we work with you to prepare everything and help you get ready and do mock classes and interview practice and get you interviews with our online schools. We have a curated list of online schools that are currently hiring that we work with, recruiters that we work with, interviewers that we work with. And then we will also help you get set up on the freelance platforms as well. So when you become an online teacher, when your first step out the door it's best to go with an online school to get a job and get a certificate, get a contract with the school. That is not going to make you rich. That is not really where you're going to make all the money as an online teacher to keep you going, but it is a great first step in a way to get started. So we'll help you get started there. And then really with the freelancing is where you can start setting your own hours and make the money that you want to make and that you need to make to cover all your expenses. All right. Between each of these sessions, so there will be about 7 sessions in total. Between each of them, you'll have some homework to do, some things you need to prepare for the next session so that we are ready to hit the ground in the next one. So the first one is introductions, as I said. The second session we'll have is production. All of this is, again, on the website under the Mentorship Program tab, which is right next to the Teach English Online tab. We'll do resumes and interview preparations. We'll do applications in session 4 and connect you with all those online schools. There's a short session as well on teaching children, because with these online schools getting started, even if you don't want to teach children, it's going to be a part of the industry, whether you like it or not. Just get your foot in the door in the industry and teaching children for these online schools, and then you can branch out after that. So it's important to know there are some techniques that are different for children than, of course, for adults. Session 6, selling yourself, a very provocative title, but meaning how do you promote yourself? How do you market yourself online as a private teacher? And then session 7, private students, how to attract them, how to convert them, etc., and how to make sure they keep coming back and booking classes with you. Strategies on pricing and all kinds of things like that as well. All of this, again, is in much more detail on the website. And I invite you to go and click on that and go have a look over there. This is a screenshot from our last mentorship session, the one that just started last week, I think. So we try and keep the groups small as well, 3 to 4 people. This way we can provide a much more personalized service. If necessary, if we have enough demand, we'll just create a second group rather than just making a bigger group. We run these every single month, starting the first week of the month. So whenever you want to join up, there's always going to be a session ready for you. So niche specialization, we've spoken about this, well, I have quite a lot since the beginning, but this is really where you set yourself apart. And it's easy to say to somebody, get a niche, use your previous experience, but it can be difficult to create your own niche. So we've created one for you, the IELTS. Like I said, this is the International English Language Testing System. It's run by the British Council, and over 3 million candidates every year take these exams. So this is also included in our 180-hour training program, or you can buy this course apart if you're on this webinar and you already have all the certifications you need and you're looking to specialize in something. I'd highly recommend checking out the IELTS niche. So students that are looking to take this exam are doing so for a variety of reasons. All right, they want to immigrate, they want to get a job abroad, they want to go to a university in Canada or Australia. So the stakes are really high for these people, and they need to get a high score on these exams. The IELTS exam is not an exam that you can pass or fail. They put you, that's the same exam for all different levels. And depending on how you score, you'll get a band score from 0 to 9. So say, for example, you want to, the student wants to go abroad to live, they need a 7 to get through the immigration department there. So you help them get that band score. So in the course, we will show you, we'll give you a detailed breakdown of each part of the exam. We'll give you explanations of the task types, provide 140 PDFs, audio, 90 minutes of audio, 45 minutes of video, additional PDF resources. We'll give you everything you know and everything you need to know, and email support as well to make sure that you have the resources and the knowledge to help a student effectively and to achieve this. And the students are willing to pay you more per hour for a teacher that specializes in exam preparation. There are other exams to look into as well. The Cambridge exams is another one of those. The first certificate, the preliminary English test, all of these things, you may have heard of them. So the exam preparation market is a very big market, and you can charge more per hour if you specialize in that rather than in just general English. And this is one of the courses that we help you with to find a niche. We are currently working on some other courses as well. There's a Cambridge course in the works for the Cambridge exam specifically, and a business English course as well, although there is a business English module included in the TEFL course as well. Our online teacher community, just before we pop off here, we are just waiting for you, basically. The online teacher community really is the heart of eTEFL Online. That is where we shine. That's what makes us different to everybody else out there that's providing TEFL courses. We just give you a certificate and wish you luck, and that's the last you hear of them. Like I said previously, it's not only us, it's your fellow teachers. We're trying to build a community of online teachers that support each other through this entire process, because there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, you're going to find rejection, you're going to find successes. And if you can share that with other people that are on the same journey as you, it's going to make your career, your new career, much easier. All right. So if you want to get started, what is the process? So there are 5 simple steps to getting started really through eTEFL Online. And the first one is, of course, to enroll in one of our online teacher training programs. These are on the website as well. Under online teacher training programs, there's a tab at the top of the website. So your second step then is to complete your teacher training program. So you need to have completed at least the TEFL course, so that you have that certification before you start step 3, which is the mentorship program. If you've opted for one of the programs that includes the practical teacher training or the IELTS course, then you can leave those to a bit later if you want, if you're really in a rush to get started. If you can complete those first before the mentorship, that's great. It's totally up to you, but you need to have the TEFL certification, because that you need when you start applying for jobs and creating profiles. Is one of the requirements. So once that is done, you can complete the rest of them. The IELTS, maybe the practicum as well, and then you're ready to start teaching online. So we, so far with our new mentorship program, have 100% success rate in helping new teachers get online work. I hesitate to use the word "we guarantee you success," because your success is directly proportional to the effort that you put in as well. But from our side, it is basically guaranteed. What you do, on the other hand, is up to you. But so far, like I said, 100% success rate in getting teachers online. Sometimes we're only through week 2 of the mentorship program, and already teachers are getting getting jobs online, getting accepted to schools, and getting their first online students. Other people take longer, take 4 weeks. Some people take 6. It depends on the person. So how do you go from there? Well, all you need to do is go to the website, eteflonline.com/online teacher bundles. Like I said, just go to eteflonline.com. At the top, you can navigate around all the tabs and find exactly what you need. And you will find these 3 bundles. So the first is the 120-hour bundle, and that is our entry level. That includes the 120-hour online teacher training course, or the TEFL course in this case. Everything includes the career mentorship, career mentorship program in all of these bundles. You also get the lifetime support, you get the resource library, and there's an affiliate program as well if you want to refer people to us and earn commissions. The second is the 150-hour bundle, and that it just adds the extra 30 hours of the online teaching practicum that we discussed. And then the third option is the 180-hour bundle, which includes everything now: the 120-hour TEFL, the 30-hour online teaching practicum, and this 30-hour IELTS exam preparation course, so that you can specialize in that. We will also add a Microsoft Alex 3000 headset for online teaching specifically. It's one of the top-rated headsets for that. And you can just go straight through the website. At the bottom of every single one is a click here to enroll button, and you follow the steps, fill in your information, and you will be ready to go. As soon as you have signed up and as soon as payment has gone through, you will be automatically enrolled to begin right away, if you please. So your 120-hour course has a 6-month expiration date, which is more than enough time. That's over 5,000 hours to do 120 hours. If you need an extension, paid extensions are available, of course. The 30-hour online teaching practicum, once you've finished your 120-hour, after 6 months, we will start counting your new 6 months for the 30-hour. So you'll have another 6 months to complete that, but that only starts counting once you get your TEFL certificate. And the IELTS exam preparation course, because the IELTS exams keep changing and being updated, you have lifetime access to that course so that you can log in 3 years' time and get some new updates when you're helping students in the future. So there's no expiration date on that part. Now, of course, if you already have your TEFL certification, you can jump straight into the upgrade and do our mentorship program if you're only interested in that. I would say that 50% of the people that go through our mentorship program are coming to us already with a TEFL course because they've realized their previous TEFL course provider gave them a certificate and sometimes a great education as well, but that's not enough to find a job. That's only step one. So then we take over and we help you with the rest. So if you currently got a certificate and you need help, you can upgrade to the mentorship program without having to retake our TEFL course if you want to. If you're only interested in the IELTS exam preparation course, that's currently on special, 50% off. You can enroll in just that course as well. If you already have a TEFL course and you're already teaching, but you want to specialize in that, you can do that separately as well. All of these links are on our website as well. At the end, during the Q&A and the chat function, I can send some links to you in the chat box as well for you to click on. Okay. And like I said, if you wait until the end, there will be something special for you. So for all webinar attendees, we are offering you 15% off for giving us your time, a little thank you, on all our programs and courses until midnight on Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th of May, 2022. You just need to use the coupon code webinar15 on the enrollment page and you will get 15% off. Now, this of course excludes the IELTS course, which is currently 50% off. If you only want to, enroll in that one little standalone course, then you'll get 50 instead of the 15. But for all our training programs and also for our mentorship upgrades, if you already have a TEFL, the 15% also applies. Whoa, that was a lot of talking. So eteflonline.com/online teacher bundles is where you need to go. If anybody has any questions, now would be the perfect time to share it with us. We have a chat box function. So you can click on the chat and then you can just type something in there and we'll be happy to answer them. Already got a TEFL, yeah? And 6 months teaching English as a second language. You never did a practicum. Well, if you have experience, then I don't see how the practicum is necessary. Unless you've never taught English online, then yeah, I would recommend the practicum. The practicum also has some extra benefits. The practicum is included in our mentorship programs. So if you do the practicum, you also get the mentorship. So we'll also help you get set up online. Exactly. So yeah, you're just saying now that it was not online, your experience. So yeah, this will help you get, because not only that, you get the accredited certificate and you also get the letter of recommendation from the online school to use in your applications. So there's extra benefits to doing it as part of the mentorship program. And the mentorship program is going to help you get set up online as well, so that you can actually make a living out of teaching English online and use that certification that you have. And also the experience and the confidence are the two main important things that I would say from the practicum, so that you actually have real teaching experience and not just the theory behind you. And we have a question from Danny. I have a full-time job. Can you do the mentorship program working 9 to 5? Yes, we have designed the mentorship program for people who have jobs. So our sessions are usually in the evenings. I don't know, Danny, where you are from. We have spoken, your name is very familiar. Oh, Vanaheva, that sounds very South African. So yes, it's in the evenings, South African time. Which if you're in Europe is basically the same time. I know that I'm in Spain now and some other people on this call are also in Spain and we are the same time as South Africa. So either it's always in the evenings after work. So you can join them and it's only twice a week at the peak. Okay, great. You're welcome, everybody. Invite you to especially go to that Teach English Online page where you can then play around with the calculators and have a look at all the resources there for you. And the requirements and get all the information you need before you make a decision. Thank you for the information. Just want to sort some time in that. Yes, Rizwana, we have the next group is starting June the 9th, I want to say, or 8th. Anyway, I can send you that later. So yeah, there's time before the next mentorship group, so you can come and join later. No problem at all. And we run one every single month. So if it's not next month, the month after that, there's another one, possibly even 2, depending on the demand. And also, that's what I wanted to mention. There is a free course that we offer. It'll take you 30 minutes, maybe an hour to complete a course. It's an introduction to teaching English online. If you sign up for our newsletter, just go to the website again. At the top, it says sign up to our newsletter on the top of every single page. And you click there, fill in your name and your email address, and you'll get automatic access to this course. So if you want some more information, then go through that little course. It'll again just talk about all the requirements that you need. And also, Sander has put some recordings there of his online classes. So you can actually see what a live class would look like and what he teaches his students. There's adult classes, business English classes, and a class with a young learner as well there. And then some more resources. You can book a call with a consultant. We'd be happy to phone you back and answer any of the questions that you need to go. All right. And Anne needs to go now too. All right. Thank you, Anne, for your time. And thank you, everybody else, for your time on this call. Really appreciate it. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for your time. I think that's all the questions. Again, you can always send any questions you may have to support@eteflonline.com. There it is in the chat box again. And like I said, also that free course, I encourage you, if you're just getting started out and you have no idea where to go and what to do next, first do that little course. It'll give you much more insight and into what teaching English online is like, what you require. Also, I will have recorded this webinar. So once I've edited up a little bit, I'll put it on our YouTube channel, and then you can go watch the recording afterwards. Like I said, the 15% discount for those that have joined us today and those that are watching the recording is valid until the end of the week, until Friday. So you still have time to go and investigate a bit more before you make any decisions. And that is that. Sander, thank you for being there for emotional support. I hope you feel better, and the family as well. And to everybody else, thank you so much for joining us, for giving us your time. And we'll probably see you on the next one. Thank you very much.